it's always a full crowd, which is great. Last show of the year, which is fun. And I live in Los Angeles currently, so coming back home to Colorado to do a fun, sold-out show right before we go back home is always fun. And the crowd is really great. They're all young, fun people. So it's a good time. It was fun to come and test out some of my new LA written jokes on a Colorado crowd. And I'd say most of them worked all right. So I felt pretty good tonight. It was fun.
I feel like I'm nipping. I'm for sure nipping. Son of a... I have 2 shirts on and my nipple's still popping out.
Yep, that's, I mean, honestly, I don't want to sound like I'm hopping on his bandwagon, but that's pretty much what I do too, you know, like I've been doing this show here for 2.5 years. I created the show to be my open mic. I wanted it to be a Boulder showcase, but I'm here every week. I work at Comedy Works. I get plenty of star time there. This is where I come to work good, like new material in front of a good crowd. And I try to write 10 minutes a week, which is, if you ask any comic, even writers, they're like, that's impossible. And I would say it's impossible, but I try, you know? And I'd say about 3 weeks out of the month, I typically will get it. And sometimes, and it's not 10 brand new minutes, you know? Sometimes it's, you know, like what if I change this whole thing this way, and I move this up top, and I try this new chunk in a section of try jokes, but it all flows in a story, you know? Because moving your stuff like that, you know, and I've heard this from other comics too, you know, it's the whole do your best joke first and your second best joke last, you know? And then move them around. And moving around, one, helps me keep my mind sharper because I can't remember them as well because I smoke a ton of weed and I forget everything. We're in Colorado, you know? So that's an issue, but sometimes you'll find it fits great with another thing that you didn't even expect to flow into. And now, instead of 2 jokes, you have a bit, you know? And then you only have to remember one thing instead of 2. Or I have one joke that's 5 jokes in one. And it's like a 9-minute bit, or chunk basically. And I just turned 30. And it's balding, my blood issue, I'm super fat or I'm getting fat, and then, you know, into politics, and like, it's just this one chunk that, you know, I never would have had or never would have found if I didn't have this show to try that out before I take it, you know, to Comedy Works or, you know, somewhere like that, where it's important, where someone who I'm opening for might be like, hey, I like what you're doing, you should talk to my people, or whatever, you know? So that, and, you know, never get tired of doing comedy. If you're tired of doing comedy, there's something wrong. There will be times where you don't want to do a show, but it should never be like really, it should never be that bad. It should be like, man, I could just sit here right now and do nothing, that'd be cool. But it should never, but then when if you think about it, you should still be like, I turned down dates, I turned down pussy, I turned down drugs, I've had 5 hits of fantastic acid sitting in my closet for 4 months because I don't have time to eat it because it takes 2 days to recover. And I have shit going on those, you know, 2 days. So, you know, it's just, you gotta, it's the worst drug you can want because you gotta want it. And that's what starts that cycle, is you still want more of it. Like, even after a shitty show, you're like, I still want to do it again. Give me another shot, you know? And I think if you have that mentality of like, you get to do comedy, you don't have to do comedy, you get to do it, I think you'll continue to be happy. Because this is a depressing job. It's very depressing. People kill themselves all the time in this job, or quit miserably. So make sure that you're happy first. And I think writing helps you stay happy. Because you don't get those same jokes that you've been doing for 2, 5, 10, 15, 25 years over and over and over and over and over and over. Fuck. Like, writing, even if it doesn't go well, that spark is like, well, this could go well. There were chunks of it that were good. And then you get excited about it. So writing, I think, is the basis of all of it. But I do feel very lucky as well that I started in Denver when I started. And, you know, I would hate to have to start again. You know, because there's a lot of really good comics, and Denver comedy specifically is very, very supportive of each other. There's not a lot of industry here yet. They do come occasionally, like at the High Plains Festival that Adam, Kate Holland, and Andy Jewett do, that do come out here. But for the most part, we want to help each other. We want to support each other. It's like, hey, what if you did this instead? Like, fuck that. I'm going to take your joke and I'm going to do it this way, and we'll see who gets on TV first. It doesn't work like that, you know? And so I'm very, very happy to have that. Very happy that, you know, Comedy Works is my home, you know, and that they nurtured me, and, you know, it was a rough start. I was terrible when I started. I was so bad. It just was so high and so loud, and I just wanted to be Chris Farley. So, you know, I'm very, very lucky to have grown through their structure, and now when I leave, you know, I'm just like, it puts you in a different class. Just, oh, you're from Denver and you work at Comedy Works. Oh, and you headline Comedy Works? All right, you at least have 10. You know, like, no one's going to say you don't have a strong 10 in any city across the world. So I'm very lucky for that. And the beer garden here, you know, with this show, I wrote it from 8 people to close to, you know, about 80, 90 each week. And it's because of my connections at Comedy Works, because of my hard work, and everyone can do it. You just have to keep hammering it away. There is no time frame. That's what sucks. There is no time frame to an extent. You know, if you're 20 years in and you're still open mic and you're past your time. But other than that, I want to say one more thing, a shameless plug. I don't even know how this works, but Comedy Works has helped me too, because this show Information that I did create. It's this improvised news show where we have 3 comedian panelists basically riffing on weird news. All real, but very weird. There's a group of Christian bodybuilding swingers in Florida. Yep, that have a wife swap website. That's as real as it gets.
Very impressive.
Yeah, so we riff with dumb stuff like that, you know. And Tommy, I tried it first here at my show. Comedy Works picked it up, and I run it there now. And being able to take that show to places like the Creek in the Cave in New York and say, hey, I run a show at Comedy Works, can I run it here? They're like, yeah, let's see what you got. And then I did, and like, cool, do you want to come back? You know, which I will be back there on January 29th of 2016 at the Creek in the Cave. That's a Friday at 10 o'clock for Information. It's called the FAUX. Okay. I put out new videos every Tuesday on my YouTube channel. Yeah, and so I got about 7 weeks of videos on there, and it's people with like Sam Talent and like Nathan Lund and Adam Kate Holland and Ben Roy and Andrew Overall. It's pretty fun. Pretty fun.
As Chicago as I am, I'm still a hometown guy. I started right. This guy was like wanting me to run clickbait stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather just focus on like leads.
That's
really
good.
Get a lot of pub and get pub to people like that. You know, you really work the past guys. I know it's a very
Yeah.
Awesome.
Ben Roy's a force. He had a lot of help with me getting into the Creek in the Cave as well, because she responded, but like when I said Ben Roy's done it, and he thinks he recommends it, she goes, all right, cool, let's get it done, you know. And he's just a force. Like, I look up to him. Like, I don't want to be exactly like him in terms of comedy ways, but man, can he tell a fucking story? Oh man, if you don't know who he is, you should, and you should definitely check him out. Ben Roy. Yeah, all 3 growlers are awesome. You know? Those Who Can is picked up for a 2nd season already on True TV 3 months prior. There's a plug. I'm not even in that one.
Watch it.